Hi, I'm Francis Cody, and this is the GolfSpace podcast. I'm here with the founder of GolfSpace, Dean Dewhurst. How are you, Dean?
I'm good. How are you?
Lovely to see you at the table.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit about your background and how on earth you arrived at owning a 1,400 square metre venue in the middle of Alexandria?
Well, I've been a passionate golfer for about 30 years. Originally from the UK and got into it when I was pretty young, about 13, 14. And I think like a lot of golfers, just obsessed with wanting to get better, and literally was kind of getting frustrated with how bad my game was or why the ball was behaving in a certain way. And I was really obsessed with, okay, how do I get better at this game? And I'd go for lessons, and I would find that it was hard to really understand what they were trying to give me. Great information, but then it would work in the lesson. But then when I went and played again, it was gone. So I used to just buy so many training aids. There'd be so many things coming in to the post of just trying to get better at golf. Yeah. So I committed to buying a launch monitor back in like 2016.
Wow.
And I was living in a terrace house and actually built my own at-home simulator with a hitting net and a screen, and I built the projector that would go up on the top of the garage wall.
You were obsessed.
I was obsessed, right? And it just literally be hitting balls at like God knows what hour. Just thinking that technology is going to help me now. I really wanted to understand ball flight behavior and just wanted to perform better on the golf course. But then when I would go for lessons to try and connect to what I've been learning with the technology, I wasn't getting the coach to translate to giving me what the numbers and the technology meant. So I was basically on my own, just trying to work out these numbers and how would it really help me get out there on a golf course. It was about like a 20 handicap. So I started using virtual golf, like playing golf and playing on the simulator. And I was finding that I was just getting better from just playing more golf, making better decisions. And my handicap got down to like 12, and I was like, this is brilliant. And then my background is I've been in recruitment for 22 years now.
Wow.
I specialize in architectural recruitment, senior leadership for architectural recruitment. So I've got this deep passion for design and a massive passion for golf. And I wanted to blend my two passions together. But going back to the story of like trying to get better, I then put a simulator in my office, in my recruitment office. And we would use it to get better, and I'd get a mate to come in and really help me to try and understand all the data and understand how I can get better. But I was also using it to have some nights with mates. I would get people to come round and play golf. We'd play tournaments. We'd have pool tournaments wrapped up with golf. We'd have a few beers. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, where and why is there no places where you can go and actually play indoor golf?
So how then did you commit to making a decision that you would take this passion, arguably a really deep passion, into a full-blown business?
So it was the GFC that wiped out, the global financial crisis that wiped out my first recruitment business, and then rebuilt it again as a team. And then the second time with COVID, we got wiped out again. And it was like a COVID idea. I remember vividly coming down the 18th at Bonnie Doon, and I was saying to one of my mates, I've got this unbelievable idea where I'm just noticing that no one has designed an indoor golf club that could do both performance and get people better, but also at the same time give people an immersive, entertaining experience.
And for our listeners, Bonnie Doon is a famous course.
Yeah, it's one of Sydney's
Sydney?
top 5 Sydney golf courses. Beautiful golf course, beautiful membership club.
So performance and entertainment started to kind of ruminate in your head around these two areas that just weren't connecting.
Well, I went and did the research, and I was looking around, and it was like, okay, where there were no centres where there were centres where you could go and practice, but typically they would be set up by a PGA coach or professional golf coaching. And why I think we're bringing some disruptive nature to this industry is that I'm not from the golf industry. I'm just a passionate golfer that says, hey, I want to get better, and I can see this technology as this unbelievable tool to bring people together and have a great time. And it was getting people who hadn't even played golf. I was like, come and have a go. And they were like, oh my God, I want to get into this game. I want to play golf because of the technology. So on one flip side, you've got these entertainment centres that are just really focused on come and have a drink, grab a chicken burger and what have you. And just, it wasn't really authentically golf. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, you've got these facilities that were just set up by coaches to just really focus on getting you better. And you go once amazing technology, but it wasn't a place where you're like, okay, I want to go there and have that as my place I would go on a regular basis. So there's a gap there. It was just a massive gap there. I was like, okay, this is an opportunity.
Yeah, amazing. Do you think, so you commit, you go ahead, you get some, you bootstrap, you get some funding, a little bit of funding from family and friends, and you go and start building out at Alexandria in a 1,400 square metre space. Could you tell us a little bit about the space? Because you are obsessed with design and architecture, and you've helped some of the best architectural firms design great buildings. Can you tell us a little bit about the kind of the premium nature of the space and what you've really developed physically in that environment?
Yeah. So the design of the space was really at the core, the focus of what I wanted to try and build here. Passionate about design because I know what good design makes you feel when you go into a space. So whether you're in a restaurant or in a bar or any type of space that you go in, this is great. It's not just what it looks like; it's how you feel when you're in that. And I learned that a lot back in 20 years being entrenched in architecture. So what I've brought to the space is the way that we've designed the simulators to be opposite each other was really well thought out, so it could bring in that sort of human dimension and energy when people are playing or playing a tournament, having a bit of fun. I also wanted to spend a lot of time on the lighting and the design and every element of detail. Spent so much time on just the way that the dividers between each bay, you could open them up for tournaments or events or close them up if you want a bit more practice. The bar is beautiful, the way that we've designed that space so that you can come pre-game, post-game. We've got a driving range in there as well that's like super immersive, got big 55-inch screen TVs so you can see all the data that you've got and see your swing on camera. So it was, no stone unturned type of design.
So when you open the doors, what must have been a pretty thrilling moment to physically open those doors, did you think, right, how the hell am I going to get people in here? How am I going to attract people? Can you talk to me a little bit about how you kind of first started with that kind of connection with your audience, and we'll dive a bit deeper into that later. But just tell us those first initial couple of weeks, months.
And lots of lessons that you learn, right off the bat, because you come out and you're just like, okay, we're golf. We were, at that point, GolfSpace, love your game. We were for golfers. And we got a little bit of feedback that we're like, okay, you look a little bit professional, a little bit too golfy. So for the new beginner player or brand new, and certainly the women and girls audience, we're like, it looks a bit off-putting.
Okay, yeah.
And so we took that on board. So originally when we opened up, we were getting amateur golfers that I would say, are playing a game fairly regularly. Yeah. But we wanted to broaden that up and really understand who is our audience. Where do we sit in the golfing ecosystem? Can we really help to grow this game, and where do we fit in that landscape? So we really wanted to deep dive into the audience. So after a year in, we were then able to just really start talking to the audience that we've got and really gain that insight into who are they and what do they want. And every decision we now make is based on talking to the customer, talking to our membership, asking what do they want before we make any decisions.
And do you think nurturing that audience has kind of been the make or break for the business?
100%. 100%. That singular focus on not doing anything before asking what do you want. So the audience that we've got is an incredibly engaged audience that just want to share. So
deeply passionate.
Yeah. I mean, they're so passionate about this sport. So we did a really interesting survey back early in this year where we were like, okay, how much of our audience want to come just have fun? How many just want to play virtual golf, have some beers? How many actually want to get better? And we pushed it out to about 12,500 people, and we had a bit close to 2,000 people that responded. 95% of that audience said that they wanted to elevate their game and get better. 95%.
Which in turn turned into your tagline, which is?
Elevate your game. So we completely, but they're not just wanting to get better. They also really valued a premium environment, beautiful design, and also fun. So when we say entertainment, you can come and practice, but we've cracked up the music. You're coming and you're practicing in an immersive environment with music, which is all entertainment. For us, everything's entertainment.
So can you talk me through about that kind of luxury entertainment, the curated day, if you like? Tell us how that venue experience changes from sort of morning, during the day and nighttime.
Yeah, I mean, look, depending on the day and the time of day, whether it's the weekend or evening, midweek, the space sort of morphs into a different type of environment by the music and the lighting and the audience. So in the morning on a Monday to Thursday, for example, we've got people coming in really wanting to practice and work on their game. As you get into the evening, you know, the music changes, it cranks up a little bit and it becomes more of that entertainment. We start seeing more groups coming in, just coming having a bit of fun as well, but they're still getting better and sort of improving their game, but they're still just having a really good time whilst doing it. And you can just see people coming having a drink and just really socializing, and that competitive socializing happens at different times of the day.
Interesting. I was given some numbers that at the beginning of the year you guys started with a really pretty low rate of members, about 120 or so, give or take. And now you're about to peak at about 500 members. Can you talk me through the development of your membership approach and the nurturing of those memberships, and realising that memberships were extremely important above and beyond PAYG, pay-as-you-go customers? Can you talk us through a little bit about that customer base approach to membership?
Yep. And like anything, when you start off, you come up with the price. We really didn't have much competition to look at in terms of what is the right price point. And what did we learn in that early stage was we probably got the price per PAYG not quite right. When we looked at the value ratio to a membership price per week, per how many opportunities they got to go on a simulator, for example, was just not high value enough. So when we understood that they want to get better, we completely had to rethink what could be the most amazing, high value, sticky membership that our members would just say, it's just a no-brainer. This is awesome. So it's such a premium environment with a great price. Unlimited access to the facility is what we came out with. And we had 119, I think, in January members. With the driving range installation that we had, that allowed us to unlock this off-peak membership and peak membership and have this duality of different types of membership for the local audience as well as those that could come on the peak times. So,
price point and understanding the audience deeply, connecting that together, getting the right position.
Huge.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people know that we collectively at GolfSpace are going through a big capital raise via the platform Birchal.
Yep.
Could you talk through a little bit about that? It's just launched. And could you tell us a little about, probably really importantly, about the expansion plans? What do you hope to achieve if you secure the fundings that you hope to secure?
Yep.
What do you want to do?
Yep. I'll answer that in two ways. So first of all, why crowdfunding as well, and why now? So why now is we've hit close to membership capacity, not membership for the totality of the club, but membership capacity, i.e. on peak times, on weekends, it's very difficult to get on. You're on a waiting list. So why now is that we put in the mezzanine. So we built this humongous mezzanine, which is 400 square meters of space upstairs, with the future provision of knowing that we will one day take up that space. We always had this design idea that would be more of our entertainment and our simulator lounge. So part of our expansion plans for GolfSpace Alexandria Club is that we've got this design for a deluxe 4K simulator lounge. What's different between simulator bays and a simulator lounge is it's the TrackMan technology actually sits in the ceiling, not in the player behind, where we have downstairs in a simulator bay, the PC and the TrackMan sits behind the player in a beautiful joinery cabinet. And then upstairs can be more couches, pool table, whiskey and champagne bar, beautiful breakout furniture. So you can hire that whole space and have it as an entertainment, or you can go up there and practice or play, but in a more social environment.
So for our listeners, can you just unpack very briefly what TrackMan is? Because you've used this term quite a lot.
Yeah, so TrackMan is the launch monitor technology, the hardware and software that we use all throughout our driving range, our simulator bays, and the future provision of our simulator lounge. Yeah. TrackMan's the leading #1 golf launch monitor on the market. It is used by all the pros. It's the one. It's the #1.
Yeah.
And to answer why Birchal, so crowdfunding to me made a lot of sense because we've got this engaged audience that we want to ask every time we want to do something. They love to respond, and it's a personal relationship that we're developing with our audience.
And why
it
not?
made a lot of sense to me. It was like, you can go to high net worth, you can go to private investors, VC, angel investors, but this made sense because the audience is so excited to go on the journey with us. And this is an opportunity to get them to come and be a part owner in the journey.
And just we're a day in when this is recorded.
We are a day in, yeah.
So this might be a bit dated when it gets edited.
Yeah.
But we're a day in, and how's the response?
Well, I'm blown away, to be honest. The video that we curated and pulled together really gives a great idea of the concept behind it and the energy that we've built within the space. And we really focused in that on the performance and entertainment and the gap that we filled in there. And that really comes across in our pitch video. So the campaign's going really well. It's kicked off. We're getting heaps of expression of interest. It's just people are interested in this. And typically what I've found on crowdfunding, it's a lot of food and beverage brands, clothing. There's a lot of innovation in business. I just think that this audience, this is golf. The people that are in golf are just deeply passionate about this sport. Yeah. And I think they can see that this is a really good business idea, clear vision, great strategy, cracking team to execute on this. And I think that you can see that it just makes a lot of sense to jump on this and be part of this. And I think crowdfunding is a bit of a gift to give to people an opportunity to join these early stage growth businesses, because you don't normally get access to that unless you are a wholesale sophisticated investor or a VC.
Yeah. So it's really interesting about the customer. Can we just go back to that customer experience a little bit? Because I think a lot of people who are investing potentially in the business are also customers, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you hope? You are a customer yourself, right?
I'm a massive customer. Yeah. I'm there all the time.
Where do you hope this customer experience will grow into across the country as you grow venues and build venues, hopefully internationally over time? What do you want to maintain that kind of intimate experience? Tell us a little bit of that customer experience. Because one thing I really have felt when I've gone down to the venue is there's a real sense of community, there really is. It's like a club, you know, and you're seeing regular faces and open, warm smiles, literally. So is community going to be a big driver for you as it expands and growing that community? And tell us a little bit.
Community is huge, and I'll answer that in a couple of ways. To build that community was the number one. The membership and building a community and building out this what we call the modern day membership. There's a lot of golf clubs that you can join, and there's big waiting lists now for if you want to join one of the top 5 golf clubs in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, or any of the major capital cities. You've got a long waiting list to get into those clubs. What I found is that the members, because you can't get on these golf clubs, they actually want to be able to play at these golf clubs. So part of this community that we've built is that you can even have your general GA handicap at GolfSpace, which is super unique. We're a social golf club, meaning you can join GolfSpace, have your handicap with us, you can come and play indoor tournaments with us, you can play once a month at these exclusive outdoor rounds at some of the top clubs that we have in Sydney.
Which you have access to.
Which you now have access to rather than being one member of one golf club. So you're playing in indoor tournaments. We do innovative events. We've got people catching up with other members, which is just growing, which is unbelievable. So that sense of community is really growing. Where do I see it going is that when you jump on a simulator and use the numbers on TrackMan, it's hard to decipher what it means to you as a golfer and where you are on your journey. So where do I see it going and growing is we're going to develop with our amazing PGA coaches that are part of our team, is we're going to develop these unbelievable programs to help you get better. And we're going to break the game down for off the tee so you can really improve your driver and give you these amazing interactive courses that you can follow along and really get better. So that's where I see it going. There's so much information that we need to provide to the member or the customer on actually how to use this technology to the fullest of their ability.
Yeah. So on that, because I can see that you're deeply passionate about technology and how it relates personally to you as an individual and both as into your customer base as well. Can you tell us about a new partnership that you've just launched? You will be launching. You're announcing very soon. We could probably announce it here by the time it announces.
Yeah.
There's a very large collaboration you're doing, but it's very heavily focused in technology, innovation, and performance. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So it's a good segue. It's a good question because when people say performance, what do we really mean? So I'm deeply passionate about helping our audience elevate the game. So what do we mean by that? So I've already spoken about it. It's to understand the data and what it means to you. We've really got to help you really unpack that. So we're in a collaboration with the University of Technology Sydney to get PhD level research into golf performance. So what do we mean by that? That we want to dive in and do some deep diving into, for example, does virtual golf on-course practice in a simulator environment help you to improve your game out there on a golf course? And I use this really cool analogy that Lewis Hamilton, Formula One driver, he will use his Formula One simulator to simulate performance scenarios.
At the Monaco, whatever.
Yeah, and when the Las Vegas track came out, like no one had raced that before. Where do you think they practiced that track? They practiced on a simulator. They would practice taking corners and maybe if they're
waiting,
like drifting behind another car, how you overtake. So this is how I saw early on how innovation using virtual golf as a tool to not just focus on your golf swing, but actually to help you in a practice scenario. So part of that collaboration with the University of Technology Sydney is to do groundbreaking research into how this technology can actually using evidence-based practice to help you really truly get better. And they've done it with cricket, they've done it with AFL. They are super passionate as well about doing groundbreaking research into this area.
Amazing. As a novice golfer, I've been immersed and deeply obsessed with the game for about a year, not very long. It's overtaken surfing, which is tragic, and tennis. I realised, I came to sort of epiphany that I couldn't train on the field of play. Like I couldn't practice on the field of play. When I arrived on a Saturday or a Sunday with my mates, I couldn't literally prep on that field.
Yep.
And I'd arrive on the first tee or the back nine, and all eyes are on you. It's absolutely terrifying. Like I think it's more terrifying than public speaking.
Oh, yeah. First tee jitters.
Tee jitters, balls flying everywhere, But it is, you're right. It's like F1 where these guys have to be in sims, literally, to prep and prime for that moment at the Monaco Grand Prix. And I was like, this is exactly the same. Golf really is a terrifying moment. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. But you need to get that 10,000 hours up, for any type of activity. But just tell us, is that true?
Well,
I think it's true.
100%. I mean, you just think traditionally, how have we practiced golf? It's on a driving range. So you got a basket of balls and you're beating balls, and you could be on a third tier of a driving range and you're hitting driving range balls, which are not full flight balls, and the wind could be blowing one way and you're on the third tier. You really don't know what the distance is. So really all you're looking at is ball flight behavior. You're basically seeing if it slices, if it fades, if it draws, if it hooks, if you top it. That's all you can determine, and you think, that might have gone 150 meters. But if you think about that, when you then turn up to the first tee or you're at the approach shot on any hole, it's not like you've not practiced that. You're practicing just ball striking. And there's this huge emphasis, I can't say this enough, just on golf swing. We believe at GolfSpace that we could actually get a number of players infinitely better at shooting lower scores just by teaching you how to play the golf course better management. And that's what simulator technology is doing. We got people coming in saying, this isn't real. I can promise you it's real because I put my own money behind the rendering of Bonnie Doon Golf Club to prove this point. And that's when we've been doing this innovative 12-week challenge where we're like, okay, we will get you into GolfSpace and we will train you for 12 weeks.
On Bonnie Doon
and we'll
digital
end up
course.
with digital Bonnie Doon in the last 3 to 4 weeks. And then we'll see if we can help you play your best round ever at the real Bonnie Doon. It's cracking. We're in our 4th season. It's great. We've got people just going, this is unbelievable. So, practicing performance scenarios was something that I had early on in like 2017, 2018 when I had an epiphany. It goes back to your earlier question. What made me do this? I was seeing a world of way that you could practice golf better than hitting driving range balls into the sunset. Not just getting data of angle of attack and club path, but actually aiming at real targets and seeing, well, when the ball bounces, how much do I have to, what's my cover number? When we say cover number, like what's the number that I need to hit to carry this bunker to hit the green? When you're doing that on the driving range, none of that comes into play. You just, okay, that felt good, or that looked good, or that was where I was hoping it was going. But when you use indoor simulators to practice performance scenarios, you're having more fun because you're aiming at targets, and it's revelationary. And the way our coaches are embracing that as well they're getting miles better results coaching using a variety of different tools to engage the customer, engage the student into it. Yeah.
Amazing. So, look, to wrap it up, I'd like to ask you kind of a really important question that goes back to the capital raise. I'm sitting here as an investor, potentially talking to the owner, and what do you think I should be asking you, and what do you think you should be telling me about the opportunity to invest in this business? And obviously, where would my money go, and why should I put that money into that journey?
Well, first of all, golf is booming, right? And so are we, I like to say. Golf is booming. We've now got 3.5 million Australians playing golf alone in 2023.
Wow.
Believe it or not, Francis, we've now got more people playing off-course golf than we do on-course golf. So what do you mean by off-course? So off-course is driving ranges, simulators, you even class holy moly. So we work really closely with Golf Australia and Golf New South Wales, and the mantra is all golf is golf. So even if you're a holy moly, it's golf. You're getting into the sport.
Yep.
It's on the rise. So first of all, it's booming. We're getting so many people coming into this sport. It's an incredible opportunity to come in. So what are our plans? So we haven't even spoken about our super premium club concept, which is called GolfSpace Black. This is exciting. This is a brand new club concept. So part of the investment and why we're doing it is to expand our current club to reach the club's maximum potential and realize that vision that we had at the beginning. And then we're going to launch GolfSpace Black, which is in the CBD, in the CBD's finest buildings. What that is a members club with ultra deluxe simulator lounges. It is, if you can imagine, Soho House meets golf. There's this explosion in club culture, in health, lifestyle fitness clubs, health and wellness clubs. Things like St. Haven in Melbourne, these ultra deluxe private membership clubs that are just beautifully designed and luxurious. I'm seeing it in tennis clubs in London as well. There's this real push for luxury and membership of that highest nature. So GolfSpace Black, just to answer that, is going to be opening in all of the CBDs, and we want to grow this club. Private members club, beautiful, private, always on PGA coaching, deluxe bar, ultra amazing simulators, lounges, place to network, meet other amazing members. So really going to push the boundaries of what an indoor golf club can be.
Amazing. And I'm assuming that the urban spaces, GolfSpace, as it currently stands, will also expand out. You'll be growing those accordingly as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the vision that we have in this capital raise is clear. 2 milestones. Milestone 1 being build out the mezzanine level expansion at GolfSpace, and number 2 is to open our first GolfSpace Black concept.
Amazing.
Once they're profitable and going really, really well, the 2 clubs, then we're looking to scale and replicate those all around Australia, and then we want to then explode into the US and then to the UK.
Amazing. Dean, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Is there any final words you'd like to let our community know about the next probably 5 weeks of this campaign of capital raising? Was there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think the only other thing is just in terms of like growing the sport, in terms of just wanting to touch on the women and girls and our deep passion for growing the sport. I just wanted to touch on that as well. That so if you are listening to this and you haven't been to a simulator, I mean, I would really highly recommend that you get to go and experience simulator, particularly TrackMan, and go and see it from an entertainment perspective or a performance perspective. And growing that for women and girls and getting the juniors in as well, it is the best way to get into this sport. And so I hope that if anyone's listening, go out and come to GolfSpace and also come and check it out. We're going to be, for the next few weeks, just really raising awareness on this. Get involved, come to the investor nights, join our webinar, and be part of the journey.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.